your host, AirsoftAL, the idea thinker and creator of Operation Medea, the Harry Potter and Yojo Senki fanfiction.
And I am Anderfell, Al's co-author and poker of ideas to get him into it.
The sad thing is that's not entirely untrue. So this is your, of course, update video for Operation Medea. We've seen the questions, I've seen the questions, we've all heard the questions, so let's just go ahead and kind of get to the big one of what is taking so long to make the chapters? To understand why the chapters are taking so long, we have to, me and Ander have to walk you through the process of what goes into making a chapter. Step 1.
We have to watch said episode.
Step 2, we have to literally script it out and change the characters a bit so that way it fits with what we're trying to do.
One big thing we've changed is the fact that instead of putting Harald and Kirst in a pillbox and having them blown up by artillery, instead, little Tanya/Harry sends them home in absolute disgrace.
Save that for the after party there, Ander. We're here to just kind of talk them through the process. And that is kind of the big thing is, unlike most reaction fanfiction like writers where they'll just put a scene, what they've written, and kind of just do that. No, we use a different system where it is letters and numbers like what you're seeing on screen. Let's say, for example, I have a scene that I have labeled A-1. Anderfell, controlling a set group of characters, can take that scene and it will turn out
That's the way it's supposed to. Such as having the American group, or the British group, or the Queen, or the German, so on and so forth.
Exactly. And you're seeing on screen, which this is kind of two types of videos you guys are watching right now, which of course is a update to kind of let you know the process, and as well as kind of giving you behind the scenes and kind of help you out. So you'll see A1-A, and the reaction part of it is AR, which is scene reaction 1-letter, which again, that's kind of the process we're using. And yes, that does take up a lot of our time, but it also allows us to kind of be able to nitpick or combine scenes or reactions, kind of allow us to basically make it a modular system.
Which, let's be honest, the system is a heck of a lot easier.
It really is. Now, the other step of the system is literally the rough draft. That's where we basically hammer out not only, of course, the episode that we have translated into a script, but also taking that script and literally having to fucking edit all of it together in a Google document that is not only, of course, finally proofread and checked, but then me having to post it on Wattpad and fanfiction.net, which fanfiction.net, as many of you have pointed out to me, it comes last instead of Wattpad. Reason being, Wattpad is easier. Fanfiction.net, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, to everyone out there who's been asking, why the fanfiction.net version is not as good as the Wattpad version, just blame fanfiction.net. Just blame the website.
Yar. He don't be liking fanfiction.net that much. Yard.
I really don't. Now, moving on, of course, the second bit to this update is, of course, what is to come. Because now you understand why chapters take so long. Here's the second bit. We will be doing filler chapters, or at least not really quote-unquote filler, more like just stuff that we can work on separately from the main reaction chapters or the main plot chapters to kind of help with world building.
Such as news, newspaper articles, videos from news, including maybe some not-so-secret means for everyone's favorite to hate National Socialists.
Basically, these are just world-building chapters that you guys can enjoy and it not affect the story, but it actually helps enhance the story because the first world-building chapter will be, of course, news articles. These will help not only, of course, fill out what's going on, but also kind of help you because a lot of you have pointed out already that and I've seen your DMs, I've seen your inbox messages about, the other characters and sort of what has happened to them. We will cover those things, but a lot of the time, but we have our set characters and we know what we want to do. The next one world building chapter could be letters from loved ones to loved ones. They could be, again, newspaper articles, or they could be like magazine articles, or anything of that nature, basically. But again, these chapters are small tidbits of world building.
And every little bit of world building is good for the whole world altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye out, as you may see something is significant and it's be important later on.
Oh, yes, most definitely. The final thing is that I know I have talked about this before. I know I've done videos about this before. But everyone has asked, where are we going to stop? We will be stopping at episode 6 for Yojosenki. As stated before, many times before, that is kind of our goal, is going to episode 6 and then stopping at episode 6. The only other thing about it is that and this is another thing, we agreed at the beginning of this, me, Ander, and everyone else, we agreed we are going to see this through.
So, just because we say we're stopping at episode 6 doesn't mean it's going to be finished. We're just stopping to, take a break, recuperate.
Work on other projects that we're attached to.
So, trust me, we're not quitting. Both me and Al know the pain of reading a really good fanfic only to find out that they stopped 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, years ago.
Yeah, believe me, guys, if you've watched my media reviews, you know exactly how I feel about that. Now, the last bit of information here, folks, the last update for this is that I am going to be working with some people. I am going to be working with some friends of mine to try and create more patch designs for the different Mage Core units. That is something I actually want to do, is I'm wanting to create these into actual patches to sell to you guys so you guys can have some memorabilia from it. Because, again, I come from the airsoft world as well as some paintballing, and basically I know how it is to have some cool memorabilia for something you like. So that is something I'm wanting to do. I will keep you guys updated on my own personal channel. Basically, whether or not we have patches that we're able to sell. And that money, of course, goes back to basically everything that is Medea. Like, I'm not joking on this. This is something I've always been honest about, especially with my own YouTube channel. Everything goes back into what it is helping to produce, which means that depending on how much, if the patches do get made, I'll be sharing the wealth with my friend Ander here, as well as my friend Crimson, and basically helping try and make our computers or whatever basically better, more or less.
Yep.
Anyway, folks, that's about everything in terms of Medea. If you have questions or even comments about it, let us know in the comments section, either on Wattpad, where you're watching this from, or here on YouTube. Again, we could not have gotten this far without your support. In fact, Medea is sitting at, right now, Operation Medea, folks, is sitting at 9.6k reads and 239 votes. We could not have gotten that far without you folks. I'm not joking on that.
Yes, we definitely could not have gotten this far without all of you.
So, yeah, I cannot stress enough how awesome it is that you guys have helped made this possible. I mean, me and Ander, when we started this, we didn't expect the amount of support we got.
Yep, that is true. We really did not.
No, like, oh my god. Either way, though, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been AirsoftAL, the guy who started this crazy ride.
And I'm Ander, the instigator of much of the craziness.
And we here at Operation Medea's writing team can assure you we are going to see this through. And just a little spoiler for you, the arc that you're currently reading, the one that we are currently working on, is called the Portal Arc. And I would say a little more, but I'm not. I'd rather wait for you guys to find out when we get there. But do know that the biggest question that all of you have asked, yes, not Medea, Tanya and her people will show up in our world. As to how, where, and when,
And the means of why.
you're just going to have to wait to find out. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I shall see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time. And stay tuned for the world building chapters and more chapters of Operation Medea. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to read Operation Medea, go to the pinned comment down below and you shall find a link to the Wattpad version. Because that is the superior version, because I'm able to put the GIFs in there.
Have a nice evening, noon, morning, wherever you are, everybody.